So I'm going to tell you about okay. So do you have problems? Most guys overwhelmed by them, they whine it, complain about the problems like little girl, pathetic. You can tell the size of your man by the size of the problems that brings him down. So if you don't deal with small issues, you are very small man. You see, life is problems. Living is solving problems, and sometimes all it takes to do with those obstacles are a few masculine habits. But before I tell you what those habits are, you need to understand something very important. Even if you solve all your current problems, new ones will come your way. It's fact of life. So you better be ready for it. We'll go for 5 masculine habits that will solve your problems. Number one, rule your mind. You have two choices: to control your mind or to let your mind control you. Most guys bring problems upon themselves. Their problems are self inflicted because they are their own worst enemy. And the reason for this is simple: they don't rule their mind. And if you don't rule your mind, it will rule you. It will lead you towards problems, bad habits, and activities, because no control over your mind means you have no control over your desires. And the worst thing about it is you won't even blame yourself. Think about it. When it's the least time you heard a broke man admits own fault. He's broke. Or the obese, an obese man says has been fat pig that eats too much. It almost never happens. They will blame everyone around them before they will blame themselves. Pathetic as a man, you should always remember that you are the one that controls your thoughts and actions. You can really change, because your reality is based on the way you think. I know this doesn't sound fancy, it's not some cheap trick, but controlling your mind comes before anything else. All self improvement is meaningless garbage if you are a slave to your own mind. I want you to remember what I am about to tell you. Our mind is truly powerful, and anything that's truly powerful has the ability to create amazing things, or very destructive. You are gifted with power, and if you don't control that power, your life will end up in shambles like you see with 99 of people around you. Now, let me tell you how to tame this beast called your mind. You have to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is a mental state achieved by focusing your awareness on the present moment while calmly acknowledging and accepting your feelings and thoughts. I know this doesn't sound fancy, it's not some cheap trick, but it's extremely important. There are different ways to practice mindfulness. It could be taking a walk in nature without your phone, just being in the present moment, or by journaling, or by writing your thoughts on paper, and the ways by observing your breathing. You can do this a few minutes a day. Just focus on your breathing. Loves. There are many different ways to practice mindfulness and take control of your mind, and there isn't a single best way to do it. You need to find what works for you. But those that are glued to their phone will be unable to comprehend what I've said. So let me say this one more time: rule your mind, or it will rule you. Number two, make money. Making money is a masculine trait, and although money does not solve all problems, solves all money problems. Like it, I hate it. The world is run by money and a broken man. A broke man is a powerless man. Listen as a man, you need to make money. It is one of your duties as provider. Some people have already given up on themselves and they cope. They will say things like money is the root of all evil, or money doesn't make you happy, whatever someone says, or something like that. Just know they are coping. They use an excuse to justify why they are broke or mediocre, because facing reality would hurt them too much. Pathetic. Every man should master the art of making money, and it's never be too late, never too late to start learning. But if you cope with reality, you won't learn anything. Videos on how to make money will be made in the future. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss them. Number three, exercise daily. Most problems we have can be solved by just moving our body. It sounds strange, right? But it's true. You see, most of our problems are not as big as they seem. You may have taken something too personal or made it bigger than it is, and perhaps you actually do have a very serious problem, but you are stuck overthinking it. You need to move it will bring you a mental clarity that's unmatched. Listen, after exercising, you'll notice that a lot of problems vanish because they turned out to be less significant than you made them out to be. And for the problems that to remain because they are serious, you have the mental clarity to figure out a solution. Your problem solving ability is sharp after your exercise. Your is what people fail to understand. The mind and body are directly linked. You can't control one without the other. We humans are not meant to sit still all day. We need to get our blood flowing. We need to release endorphins that delivers oxygen throughout the body, and if you don't move, you will get brain fog. It will cloud your ability to think critically. So move. It doesn't even have to be the gym. It could be as simple as 20 burpees in your park. It can even be a brisk walk. Number 4, natural foods. Stop eating garbage on the or you are a little kid or a woman having hormonal mood swings. As a man, eat only with intentions. What I am about to say is very underrated by the food, but the food you eat directly affect your future. If you eat garbage food, your mind and body literally be busy processing that garbage instead of being sharp enough to solve problems and achieve great things. Even if you don't eat snacks but you just eat too much, it takes time to process those foods and will take away from your mental clarity. That's why I always say hunger is a superpower. You are much sharper and get more done when you get to work while fasting, and when you do break your fast after getting some work done, do it with great natural foods. Do not misunderstand it. I'm not saying you can never eat a snack. Eating healthy is about balance, and balance with the nutrition is not 50-50. It's more about 80-20, meaning at least 80% of your nutrition should be natural foods that are meant to fuel your body and mind, and with the other 20% you can decide to eat some other foods you like but are not good for you. Notice that I said to decide you to decide to eat those unhealthy foods, meaning you are not led by bad habits, but you consciously choose to consume snacks knowing it's not good nutrition. That being said, when you start fasting and only consuming healthy natural foods, your desire to consume snacks will diminish because fasting makes you appreciate the taste of real food instead of garbage. Number 5, one problem at a time. After you have controlled your mind and stop being your own worst enemy, and you exercise for optimal mental clarity, you need to pick a problem you want to solve for that day. Just a single task, whether it's related to making money, learning about something, losing weight, whatever it is. Start with one. Most people become so overwhelmed by everything that they just procrastinate the bite of more than they can chew and stop doing anything at all. Instead, write down a single task the night before you go to bed and try to break it down into smaller pieces of the task or problem is too big. This way you wake up knowing exactly which problem to tackle for the day. Remember, it's not about doing the biggest task possible or solving the biggest problem in one day. It's about consistent progress. Even if you are taking baby steps, don't underestimate the power of small steps to build a great future. By the way, if you want to level up in life, don't forget to show some love by hitting the like and subscribe button. Until next time, thank you.